Hello, welcome to lesson 56. This is multiplying by three-digit numbers that include zeros. So we've already learned now how to multiply by three-digit numbers, which is the same as multiply by two-digit numbers, except we're adding an extra row, or an extra number, and an extra row, which is the hundreds place, which will then include two zeros. However, whenever we have zeros as part of within the factors, the numbers that we're multiplying together, then we can tend to find maybe little shortcuts or little ways so that we don't have just a whole row of zeros. However, if this becomes a little confusing for you, just stick with what we know for multiplying by three-digit numbers and just include a whole row of zeros, because it can get a little confusing as to what place value we're multiplying, how many zeros do I need in each row to get the correct answer. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with example 1, 243 times 120. Now, whenever I have a zero off to the side, I can always move it and hang it over. So this is how I'm going to work it. I'll go ahead and drop my 0 and do 2 times 3, which is 6, 2 times 4, which is 8, 2 times 2, which is 4. Now I'm multiplying by my 1. This is still my drop to 0, but my 1 is now acting as my tens place. I'm going to go ahead and draw an arrow from here because this all here is just my drop to 0. But since my 1 is kind of acting like it's in my tens place, then I need a 0. I need 1 0 as a placeholder. 1 times 3 is 3, 1 times 4 is 4, and 1 times 2 is 2. Then I add. There's my 0 that's dropped. 6 plus 0 is 6. 8 plus 3 is 11. 4 plus 4 plus 1 is 9. And then we have 2. So 29,160. Now, what I would say is that if you're more comfortable with breaking it apart, however, just continue to break it apart. You just don't have to do the 0 times 243 because it's still 0. You can do 243 times 20, since 120, the 2 has a value of 20. 243 times 20, and 243 times 100, and then add the products together, you still will get the same answer. So whichever way that you choose to do it is up to you. All right, now for example 2, we have 243 times 102. Now we have a 0 in the middle, so we're not able to hang it off to the side. We have to keep it there. So this is how we're going to look. So we can approach this two different ways. Well, more than two different ways. But I can do 243 times 102, or flipping the factors. 102 times 243 is also acceptable to get less confused with the 0 in the middle. So this is how I'm going to solve this problem. 2 is still in the ones place, so 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. Now, this is my tens place with 1 0 in it. I'm going to have a whole row of zeros, so I can either choose to skip it or you can choose to do it, whichever you feel more comfortable with. If you need to have every step following, please do so. So this is 1 that's in the hundreds place, so because it's in the hundreds place, I need 2 zeros. 1 times 3 is 3, 1 times 4 is 4, and 1 times 2 is 2. So again, because I had a 0 in my factor, I was able to skip a row instead of having a whole row of zeros. I will still get the same answer, whether you have a whole row of zeros or not. There's 6, 8, 7, 4, and 2. 24,786. So whenever I have a 0 in the middle, you just say, okay, it's in the tens place, whichever place value it's in. Think, okay, with the tens place, I'd have 1 0, so now I'm skipping that row, and I'm going to have now 2 zeros because it's the next one over in the hundreds place. So that's how you think of it. So 24,786 is your final product. And if we were to solve it this way, we'll get the same thing. 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 0 is 0, 3 times 1 is 3. Then multiply by my tens place. 1 0. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 1 is 4. Now multiplying by my hundreds place, 2 zeros. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 1 is 2. Add these together, there's 6, 8, 7, 4, and 2. Still get the same answer. So for your practice set, I want you to do letter A and letter C. Letter A, 234 times 240. You have one problem with the 0 hung off to the side. Then letter C, 230, you have a 0 here also, times 120. We'll go ahead and go over those in class and check your work. Thank you very much for paying attention.